feel it coming in the air. Hear the screams from everywhere. I'm addicted to the thrill.
I'm ready.
It's a dangerous love affair. Can't be scared when it goes down. Got a problem.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Episode 5, Turning Jets TV. Our first show after a loss, unfortunately. But fortunately, the Yankees, up 2-0. They've got me through this week, which has not been an easy one. It's never an easy week when the Jets lose and you have a 12-page midterm due. I spent way too much time in this chair the past week. Anyway, enough about the Yankees, enough about my midterm. Let's talk quick about last week, Jets Saints. You know, believe it or not, they weren't going to go 16-0. And, you know, a lot of people, I think, have forgotten that Mark Sanchez is a rookie because he played so well the first 3 weeks. He's going to have games like that. Better to have it, you know, now, early in the season, against an added conference opponent. You know, it's not going to hurt them tiebreaker-wise. You know, you can't, you know, cut him any slack. You say you cut him slack for a rookie, but, I mean, you know, if you want to blame the loss on one guy, it has to be him. You can't hold the ball long in the end zone. You can't stare down a receiver. That game was there to be won. The Jets' defense did more than enough for the Jets to win. They played excellent. They didn't have a great day running the ball, but, you know, in the second half, they started to get going a little bit. But, you know, we need more from Sanchez than that. He doesn't need to be spectacular or do anything special, but he needs to not turn the ball over, especially turnovers that directly lead to points when the Jets' defense isn't allowing points. So he's going to learn from it, and I think the Jets will be better for that loss in the long run. Before we talk about the huge game this week between the Jets and the Dolphins on Monday Night Football, very exciting stuff, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Sanchez running to the far sideline as the Saints bear down on him. He throws the ball upfield and it's Sharper again with the interception. Darren Sharper with his second interception of the game, and that just might be the kill shot for Mark Sanchez. And the Saints, for the second straight week, show that they can beat you in a lot of ways, not just throwing the football.
Sharper.
Hey Joe, how's your weekend, man? Come on, man. Get up, it's Monday.
Let's go. Monday Night Football. Woo! Alright, welcome back. So this week, Jets Dolphins, Monday Night Football. You know, what else do you need to know? Huge game. I think everybody knows about the off-season trash talk between Rex Ryan and Shannon Crowder, which has apparently been diffused at this point, and that's fine. You know, a lot of chirping coming out of Miami this week from people like Joey Porter saying that, you know, the AFC still goes through Miami and the Jets are bullies in the schoolyard and they got to fight for who it is. I got news for Miami. Miami's not a bully in the schoolyard this year. Miami took advantage of an easy schedule last year and their little gimmick Wildcat offense to somehow get to an 11-5 record. As many people said, they have now experiencing a little dose of reality this year at 1-3 when they started out 0-3. Their only wins against the horrible Buffalo Bills, who the Jets get to play next week. Fortunately, I'll be there. But the Dolphins, you know, they can run the football. I'll give them that, and they got some pass rushers. But you know, Chad Henne at quarterback, very inexperienced. You know, didn't have to do much last week because they were able to run the ball up and down the field. You know, I'm not sure what Miami could bring to the table moving the football on offense if the Jets stop the run, which they've been relatively solid against throughout the year. And, you know, you look at Miami, you look at that Wildcat, you know, Rex Ryan against the Wildcat last year, it wasn't pretty for Miami. They played Miami twice last year. 2 games, I think, 6 turnovers. They scored 20 points between the 2 games. Ronnie Brown ran for 17 yards in one game and 29 yards in the other game. So if the Jets come out and, you know, they're running the same scheme Baltimore ran last year, they clearly have plenty of talent on defense, and stop the Wildcat and do a decent enough job against the run, they're going to put the Dolphins in third and long situations where they don't have the talent to move the ball and move the chains against the Jets. I'm sorry. They don't have the receivers, they don't have the quarterback, and really they don't have the offensive line to protect against the Jets' pass rush, which will be boosted by having Calvin Pace back this week, which is a huge addition. Don't sleep on how valuable Pace is to that Jets defense, and what an upgrade he's going to be over Vernon Gholston, who in 4 starts had 0 sacks, I think like 9 tackles. So Pace, a guy who had 8 sacks last year, 5 forced fumbles, is a huge guy to have back. On offense, the bad news is that Jericho Cotchery's questionable, Damian Woody's questionable. They're going to be game-time decisions from what we've heard. And obviously the big news of the week, I don't need to rehash it, the Jets trading for Braylon Edwards. Very exciting stuff. I've wrote on the site, I like to trade because it adds an extra dimension to the Jets' offense. It was becoming pretty apparent over the past 2 weeks that the Jets needed another option in the passing game to open things up. I think you're going to see a direct impact on Thomas Jones and Leon Washington getting more yards per carry because defenses simply can't stack 8-9 guys in the box with 2 receivers like Cotchery and Edwards. You can't, just leave those guys in single coverage. And, really, for Sanchez, most times he's going to be able to drop back, and either Edwards or Cotchery is going to be one-on-one, and that's a great thing for the Jets. It will open things up for Keller. It will open things up for the running game. And, Edwards, you're not going to ignore his off-the-field problems and his history of drops. The guy's, has the build of a legit #1 receiver. He caught 16 touchdowns 2 seasons ago, and if he gets his head on straight, this could really be a steal for Chancey Stuckey. He's a nice, #3 receiver, but you replace Edwards with Stuckey, that's a big deal. And, you give up your 3rd and 5th, you have to give up with something. You have to give up something to get something back. We'll miss Trusnick on special teams, but he's a special teams player with a history of injuries. This is Braylon Edwards. 16 touchdowns 2 seasons ago in 1 season. Ted Ginn Jr., for his career, 3 years, got 4 career touchdowns. That means that Braylon Edwards scored 4 times as many touchdowns in 1 season that Ted Ginn did in his whole career. I'm just saying, Miami fans. Anyway, this week, I got to say, even with Cotchery potentially sitting out, and if he does, it's going to be on Brad Smith and David Clary to step up opposite Edwards. Even if Damian Woody sits out, we'll be on Wayne Hunter to step up. I think the Jets are going to take care of business in Miami this Monday night. Honestly, Jets are a better team than Miami. They have more talent on both sides of the ball. I don't think Miami's going to be able to move the ball on the Jets. I think Henne will be forced into a couple passing situations. I think it's going to result in some turnovers. I think the Jets will be able to handle the Wildcat and the run. On offense, I think the Jets will be able to run the ball a little better than they have the past few weeks. And I think Sanchez will do a better job of protecting the ball, and he'll show that he learned from last week. I'm going to pick the Jets 27-10. I'm feeling good about going 4-1 into next week's game against Buffalo. That's it for now. Again, any comments or suggestions on the site or the show, feel free to leave it, on the post. You can, comment on any of these articles. And thanks for watching. We'll see everybody next week.
On this town tonight.